Ambiguous characters in films are ones who have both positive and negative personality traits. In this essay, one will be able to uncover how elements such as setting, decor, and properties are used to portray ambiguous characters in these following films. In the 2014 film Maleficent, the protagonist, who was previously considered to be cruel and wicked in fairy tales, is portrayed to have a different, more compassionate and nurturing side to her personality. This is clearly evident through the initial scenes in the forest and swamp, where the sky is bright, there's a lot of sunlight and variant brightly colored backdrop. However, in the scene when Maleficent enters the castle, it is clearly evident that her bad-tempered side of her personality has been triggered through the following examples. The castle is suddenly covered in a gloomy darkness. There is a harsh incoming wind with which the candles are portrayed to be blown out and the chandeliers are blown around. This sudden change in setting is used to emphasize this shift in Maleficent's initial loving and kind character into one that is more cruel. The audience is also shown the reason for Maleficent's change in character when she discovers that Prince Philip had cut off her wings. This scene portrays the initially warm and inviting forest to appear foggy and covered with frost. This implicitly portrays the hurt that Maleficent is feeling at that moment in time. The scene in which Maleficent builds a powerful wall protecting the forest also represents her protecting her warm, loving nature with a hostile and cold exterior. In the 2019 Bollywood film Kabir Singh, the protagonist Kabir is constantly depicted to be surrounded by nature throughout the phase of his relationship. This is specifically done to emphasize on his nurturing, loving nature towards his significant other. It portrays the blossoming of his love story in a dreamlike, rosy, and optimistic manner. There are also scenes of their relationship depicted in and around their college campus. This is to highlight the purity of his young love story, which makes him appear as a rather innocent and sweet character. However, when his relationship ends, his character goes into a downward spiral, and this is represented through him sitting dangerously on the parapet of his balcony while drinking excessive amounts of alcohol, as well as being portrayed alone in his musty room as well as sketchy bars. This evidently shows the cultivation of a darker and more hostile nature of Kabir Singh. In extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile, the character Ted Bundy is consistently presented amongst college campus settings, depicting him as a bright-eyed and intelligent student. However, in the scenes in the visiting room of the prison, there is a hazy atmosphere being used in order to highlight that this character is similar to that of a fog, where one is unable to decipher what lays underneath his exterior charming character, which is a highly dangerous and disturbed mentality. In Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, Severus Snape is portrayed as the intimidating professor who is now the headmaster of Hogwarts. In this following scene in the Great Hall, the hall is shrouded in a gloomy, brooding nature. This nature is brought out through the filthy windows as well as the darkness of the hall. The hall is also completely void of decor and furniture. This change in the Great Hall's appearance emphasizes on the personality of Snape, as his character is as cold and empty as the Great Hall is now. However, in the flashbacks of Snape's childhood, his docile and kind nature is brought out through the naturistic surroundings during his days of being friends with Lily. Meanwhile, in A Star is Born, the protagonist Jackson Maine is a famous singer who struggles with alcohol and drug addictions. In the scene where he proposes to his partner Allie, he does so with a looped piece of a guitar string, which symbolizes his thoughtfulness as a partner due to him and Allie initially bonding through their love of music. The wedding is done in a church where there is evidently a lot of white background involved in the settings. This is to emphasize the purity of their love. However, Jackson is often also portrayed in a bar setting with a lot of red lighting, or he is often seen with a glass of alcohol, hinting that he is on the verge of a dangerous addiction. Therefore, despite being a caring and lovable partner, he might be one with issues such as alcohol addiction and substance abuse, which are traits of a toxic individual. Therefore, through the detailed use of setting, decor, and properties in these films, the audience is able to implicitly identify the ambiguity in the characters' personalities and thus understand the characters to a greater extent.